the whole reason that I started the Music in the Millions movement and podcast and just everything else is because I wanted to show you that you don't need a record label, all right? In 2020 and beyond, from here on out, stop waiting on a record label. Stop feeling like you need to wait on someone's approval. You can do this all on your own. You can be successful independently. That's literally why I tell you guys in every episode, we're giving independent rappers the tools and resources. Let's talk about it.
You know that we coming liars. I'ma keep praying to Gaia. Tell those little niggas stop it. Tell my mama that I got this. You know that we coming liars.
What's going on? It's Pimp Fried Rice. Welcome to the Music in the Millions podcast. Like I said in the intro, this is the show where we give independent rappers the tools and resources needed to be successful with what? Without waiting on a record label. Like I said, that is the whole reason that I started this movement, because I don't want rappers who are out here that are super amazing at making music to feel like the only way they can blow up or be big is by some record label out there or some executive sitting in a big chair who doesn't even know shit to give you approval. Alright? You don't need to wait on anybody to give you approval. No one. Not me, not a record label, not, Joe Schmo down the street. The only person who needs to give you the go-ahead and the approval is you. And as long as you believe in yourself and you put in the work and you stay consistent, you can be successful. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of gonna be more of a rant today because I just wanted to get it out and tell you guys what's going on through my head, why I started Music in the Millions, why I want this family to grow so big, and why I don't think you need to wait on a record label anymore. You can do it 100% DIY and still be wildly successful. The first reason you don't need a record... Oh, I'm falling out of my chair. The first reason you don't... See, that's how excited I'm getting. The first reason you don't need a record label is because recording and mixing your music is not only cheap, but it's completely DIY possible if you want it to be. So nowadays, unless you live in like a Midwest state where there's maybe not a lot of people, not a lot of towns, there are recording studios all over the place, in big cities, in towns, in people's garages, all over the place. You can find somewhere for you to record your music. And even if that's not possible for you to go to a physical location nowadays, like a recording studio, and work with an engineer, work with someone who's going to record you, it's completely possible to do it by yourself at home. You can spend less than $300, which I know when you first hear that number, it's like, oh my God, I don't have $300 to just blow. You can get an entire recording studio set up in your house for less than $300. Think about that. If you're going to a recording studio that's like good quality, you're probably going to be spending anywhere from like $30 to $50 an hour, if not more than that, on studio time. That right there is 6 hours of studio time if it's $50. So in the amount of time that it would take you to record, I guess like 6 songs and get them mixed and everything like that, you could literally have a whole setup at your house with speakers, with a microphone, mic cable, mic stand, all that stuff, so you can make music whenever you want, however you want. Literally, it is fully up to you at that point. And so, if you're the type of person where you're like, yeah, that's cool, I can record my stuff, but I don't know how to mix my stuff. Well, there are plenty of people online now where you can, if you record your vocals, you can send them to someone, they'll mix it for you, master it for you, add all the effects and stuff like that, mix it into the beat, and then send it right back to you. It's amazing what technology has opened up for us nowadays. Like, I even offer that as a service for people. So, side note, shameless plug, if you ever want your music mixed and mastered and you're able to get it recorded, you can send it to me, hit my DMs or, on Instagram, whatever, if you want to talk about that. But that is completely possible for you to just send off your music for someone to mix and master, send back to you, and then boom, you now have songs whenever you want that to be done, instead of needing to wait on a record label to say, here's your recording budget, make sure you don't go above this. And then on top of that, when a recording studio, a record label gives you a recording budget, that's not money that's like yours to keep. That's essentially a loan. So they're gonna say like, yeah, here's $100,000 for you to record your next album. That may look good and sound awesome and be like, wow, I got $100,000 to make a project. We can blow it and work on this and work on that. You still gotta pay them that money back. you're not going to see any royalties off of this project until they recoup all of their money. Recoup basically just means until they get paid back every cent that they loaned you, or it may be a percentage, or it depends on whatever deal you have set up with your record label. But essentially, you don't get free money to record, so by taking that into your own hands and making it a DIY process, you don't have to wait on these people to give you a budget and then be like, all right, well, where's our money? And if that project doesn't do well, if it doesn't sell over $100,000 worth of copies of it and everything like that, or streams, you still got to get them their money back. They aren't just going to be like, oh, it's fine, we're going to forgive you for that debt. No, you are still responsible for that, and it'll just back end with every project that you release with that record label. Don't fall into the mistake of thinking, oh, they're going to give me a budget, they're going to give me this and that. No, it's like a bank. A record label is just a big old bank. They're going to loan you the money and expect it right on back. DIY mixing and recording and getting your stuff done by yourself or by close people to you, always the best way in my opinion. And the amazing part is, if you look nowadays, you can make the same quality of music in a closet versus a recording studio versus a basement. Like this thing right here on my microphone is called a Chaotica Eyeball. I've recorded everywhere with this thing, and it literally is like I've sound treated the room. Like the quality is amazing. Definitely possible. Next, you can also distribute your music by yourself. Companies like CD Baby, TuneCore, DistroKid, United Masters even offers a free way for you to distribute your music. That is insane. Like, not only can you record in your house, make a song, mix it, master it, make it sound beautiful, but you can also take that song from sitting in your house. Like I could turn around right now, boot up this laptop, make a song, and then be like, you know what, I want anybody in the world to be able to hear it on Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon, Google Play, I think it is, whatever they're called. All you have to do is hit upload button or upload song now, and boom, now my song is all over the world. And with some of these companies, it's $20 a year. That's not a lot of money at all. That's like eating at Applebee's with you and your girlfriend if you get that 2 for $20 special. Alright, it's cheaper than eating at Applebee's one time, and you can release as much music as you want across the world for a whole year. That's insane to me. And like I said, United Masters is free. So if you don't even want to spend, if you don't want to give up your Applebee's date because you ain't got money and you want to impress your girl, that's fine. Just join United Masters. And what they do is they essentially take just a tiny percentage out of your royalties for it being a free service. So there is a little bit of a kickback there, but again, it still gives you the possibility of doing everything completely on your own, not needing to wait on anybody, and you're still going to be able to be heard by as many people as possible. Also, you can collect all your publishing, excuse me, you can collect all your publishing, not just in America, from around the entire world. Before this, but when you needed a record label, they would be responsible for if people bought your CD, whenever you performed your song, whenever you were, having your music listened to, or if it was put in a movie, or if it was put in a video game, they would have to keep track of how many times that happened, and then they would give you your money back. That's your royalties, your publishing. Well, you can literally collect your publishing all on your own. If you have a distribution company like we just talked about, they collect the ones that are in America. Then there's other companies like Sound Exchange, Song Trust, and basically what they do is they collect your royalties from all the other countries. So, Germany and England and Japan and Russia and all these other places. Now, whenever people listen to your music out there, you can still collect those royalties. And the better part is you don't have to split that with a record label. They're not going to be like, yeah, we'll collect those royalties and then take 50% of them. No, you can take 100% or whatever is due to you as the artist. So that's another benefit. You get to keep all of your money. Depending on the deal that you have with your record label, if it's a 360 deal, they're going to take money from everything you do. From your tour, from your merchandise sales, from your streams, from any revenue on anything. If you end up in a movie, they even potentially could get kickback off of that. So you don't want to be tied into these deals where record labels are essentially just sitting back with their arms folded and just letting the money pile in. They're literally just sitting there and you're doing all this work, all this effort, and they're getting not all of your money, but a good percentage of your money. just for giving you that platform. You can collect all these royalties and all this publishing on your own. It's just a matter of educating yourself. And shows like this one on YouTube, obviously if you listen somewhere else, you can get information like this. That's why I talk about distribution and publishing and marketing and all these other things, because it's so important to have that DIY mindset. Because if you're waiting on a record label, chances are you won't be successful, because record labels, there's only so many out there. They can only sign so many artists at a time. They can only give so much attention to those artists at a time, so much of a budget. And the pickings that they pick from are very slim. You don't want to fall to the wayside because of some looked over, song that you dropped or whatever. You want to take your career or your future into your own hands. At least I want to do that with mine. I'm not going to wait on anybody for mine, because I know if I put it into my hands, I can be successful. I have the means to promote my music, network my music, market my music, make the music, distribute it, collect the royalties, all on my own. I can do it from my laptop. I can do it from home. And do I know everything? No. I'm not going to act like I, know end all be all. Am I going to fuck up? Am I going to miss some of my money? Am I going to miss some of my publishing? Am I going to maybe mess up a tour date? Maybe do this, maybe do that wrong? Yes. That's all a part of the process of learning. But the more that I learn, the more that I get better at these things, the more times I mess up and figure out the right way to do things, I'm ultimately just going to get better for myself and learn how to carry myself in the music business. So then I may get to a point to where I'm 20, 30 years down the road and I'm too old to want to be an artist or too old to want to be, trying to push myself as a producer. I can now share this knowledge with other artists, which I plan on doing. I eventually want to have like a Music into Millions school where I teach rappers like how to publish their music, how to distribute their music, how to produce their music if they want to, how to record, all these different things, basically just like a college for rappers, because I want you guys to see you don't need a record label. Like, obviously I said it a million times in this video. Like I said, I feel like I'm just ranting at you guys. I don't want it to come across that way. I just want you guys to understand like why I have this much passion, why I have this much drive for the Music into Millions family, because I want you to be successful and I don't want you to wait on someone else. I want you to take your life and your career into your own hands. And really the last reason that I want to talk about is because you're not restricted by anything. You can drop music when you want. You can do what you want. Like if you get offered a movie deal, you can take it if you want to do that. If you want your songs to be put into a video game, you don't have to wait on your record label's approval. Like a record label very well you could be offered a video game like sync licensing distribution deal for your song to be in a video game, and a record label think that it doesn't match up well with your brand, and they're like, nah, we're gonna pass up on this. And what happens if a year down the road that video game becomes the biggest video game in the world? Like what if it becomes the next, like, I don't know, Fallout or Fortnite or something like that, and you missed the opportunity to have your song in that game because your label's like, I didn't think it was a good move. Do you want to miss out on opportunities like that? I personally don't want to miss out on opportunities like that. And when you're restricted by a label, they tell you where you can walk, when you can walk, how you can walk, why you can walk. You don't want that to happen. You want to be able to release music when you want to release music, do the things that you want to do, and have the freedom to live the life that you want to live. That's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I'm sorry if it came across as a rant. I tried to keep it more educational and keep it more focused on points. I didn't want to just be screaming at the camera like, don't sign up to a record label, be independent, Music into Millions, you know what I mean? That's all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. That's pretty much it. Make sure you guys like this video or dislike the video if you don't like me ranting. I don't care. This one was just something I wanted to get out to you guys. I want to talk to you guys about why I'm passionate, why I do the things I do, why I put in the time that I put in, and to let you guys know I want to start to go even harder for you guys, because I want to see you succeed. And if you want to succeed, let me know down in the comments below. Just put, I'm going to succeed. And I want to see everybody who's going to succeed. If you made it to this far in the video, I can already tell that you're the type of person that sticks things through. So just comment, I'm going to succeed. I'd love to see that. I love to see the energy. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. Big things coming. Peace.